Mr. Chair, you are now live.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Ms. Clerk. So it's after 6. So I'll begin by calling the meeting to order. So first we'll confirm everyone that we have online, starting with my colleague next door, Councillor Tony Mancini.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. Good to be here.
Thank you, Tony. Next up, Councillor Lindell Smith.
Hey, folks. Here, ready to go.
Awesome. And we also have, I believe, in transit still, Councillor Sean Cleary.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chair. On the mean streets of the West End, walking the dog.
Very good, Councillor. And we do have regrets this evening from Councillor Mason. He's not able to attend, but we certainly have everyone else here, so we have quorum, so we'll be going ahead. First item of business on this administration mainly meeting, the election of chair and vice chair. So I will turn this over to our clerk.
Thank you, Councillor. So just to briefly go through the process. So we will open it up to the floor for nominations. We do have, if we need to go to secret ballot, we do have it prepared to go. So what I'm going to do is ask for a nomination for the position of chair I'll open the floor for any nominations. And once a nomination is moved, then we will ask 3 more times if there's any other nominations. So I would open the floor for any nominations.
Councillor Cleary here. I would like to nominate Councillor Austin as chair.
I'll second that, Mancini.
Okay, so I'll call for any, Councillor Austin, would you accept that to move forward with it?
I would accept the nomination.
Okay, so I'm going to call for any further nominations. Second time for any further nominations. And a third time for any other nominations. So I'd ask if anyone wants to move and for a seconder for the nominations for chair to cease.
I would move to close nominations.
Second it, Mancini.
So we'll now proceed for the vote on the nomination. So since there was no other nominations, we will declare that the chair of the Regional Center Community Council will be Councillor Sam Austin, and I will turn it over to you, Mr. Chair, for the election of vice chair.
Thank you, Ms. Clerk, and thank you, colleagues. I look forward to chairing this very busy community council again. So our next step, as our clerk has indicated, is to nominate and select a vice chair. So I'll go to the floor to ask for nominations for the position of vice chair.
Councillor Cleary here. I would like to nominate Councillor Mason as vice chair.
Do we have a second for that?
I'll second
I'll
that.
second it.
Maybe I'll leave him hanging for a moment.
I'll let him hang for a little bit, but yeah.
All right, second by Councillor Smith was quicker to the draw. Any Councillor Mason's not on the line, but I know he has indicated he would be happy to continue. Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chair? Any other nominations for vice chair? Final call. Hearing none, Councillor Mason would be acclaimed as our vice chair. So it's the same slate is returning again. Thank you all.
That either means you guys are doing a great job, or nobody else wants it. So I'm not sure.
I will leave it to you, Councillor, to decide on which one that might be. So moving along, we do have some administration items to. Oh, pardon me. Just a second. Yes. Okay, Jana. Sorry. Kids in transit this evening. So moving on, 1.2, tabling of the 2021 annual report. We do not have any speakers registered for this. Ms. Clerk, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so with no speakers, I would just be looking to committee here to move the annual report.
Happy to move the acceptance of the annual report.
And I'll second that.
Awesome. So it's moved by Councillor Clary, second by Councillor Mancini. Anything on that, Councillor Clary?
As you say, we
Oh, sorry, Councillor, we're losing you. I think, Councillor Clary, you muted yourself there. Whatever you were saying, we didn't get.
And many have tried that too, but
not sure if it's my cold fingers. I'm on my dog who's done his business.
it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
I think we lost them. So yeah,
I
he's
think
gone.
we still have quorum at 3, even if
Yeah.
he's dropped. So anything on this from anybody else?
No, we're good.
So if someone wants to call the question,
Question.
has been called. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. So that's carried. Approval of the minutes from August 30th. If someone would like to move our minutes,
I'll move.
moved by Councillor Smith,
Second, Mancini,
second by Councillor Mancini. Anything on them?
all good.
Okay, let's vote on the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
So our minutes are approved. Approval of the order of business, Ms. Clerk. Do we have anything to change on our agenda today?
Yes, the clerk's office would like to bring forward an added item in 16.1. It's in camera in private minutes of June 28th, 2021. They were circulated for your reviews, so we would like to have that added.
Okay. Do we need a vote to add that, Ms. Clerk, or is that just appear as part of the regular vote on the agenda?
No, we would need to have a 2/3 majority to move this forward. So we'd
Okay.
need to do a vote.
All right, well, let's vote on adding the added item as explained by the clerk. Could I have someone move that, please?
I moved added to the agenda.
Second.
Moved in second, Councillor Mancini, Councillor Smith. Not seeing anything else, so we'll vote on adding that to the agenda. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So that is 2/3 convincingly. So now, is there anything else on the order of business? Seeing none. So if someone would like to move the amended order of business.
Move.
Moved by Councillor Smith,
Second,
second by Councillor Mancini. All those in favor? Aye. All right, we have got an approved order of business. Business arising out of the minutes. We have none. Calls for declaration of conflict of interest. None. Motions of reconsideration, none. Motions of rescission, none. We have no deferred business. There are no tabled matters. We have no public hearing. There are no variances appeals tonight. Correspondence, petitions, and delegations. Ms. Clerk, have we any correspondence or petitions this evening?
There was nothing received by the clerk's office.
Thank you. Anything from members of council? Does anyone have a petition? No. All right, we have no presentations. There are no information items to bring forward. We do have a staff report 13.1.1, the Regional Central Community Council meeting schedule. As you know, we meet quite regularly, this committee. Most of these meetings will be on an as needed basis. Is there any comment from anyone on the schedule, proposed schedule? Would someone like to move that then?
So moved, Councillor Cleary.
Moved by Councillor Cleary and back in the home office.
Right.
Second by Councillor Mancini. Anything on that, Councillor Cleary?
Nope, the dates work for me.
Thank you, Councillor Clary. As indicated, probably the vast majority of them we will not end up using. Okay, we'll call for the question on that one.
Question?
Questions called. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so that is carried. Members of Community Council, there's nothing there. Motions, we have none. We have nothing in camera, which brings us to our added item, which is the in-camera minutes. Would someone like to move that those be approved, or do we need to go in camera for that?
Happy to move those, Mr. Chair. Counselor Cleary.
Moved by Councillor Clary, second by Councillor Mancini. All those in favor of the in-camera minutes?
Aye.
Aye. So that is done and approved. Notices of motion. Does anyone have a notice of motion this evening? No. So the date of our next meeting, to be, if needed, of course, February 23rd, 2022, pending approval of the meeting schedule, which we've now done, actually. So that is our next meeting. I would take a motion to adjourn.
Just before you go there, I mean, the efficiency of the chair and how quickly this meeting is going is outstanding. That's why you are the chair again. So thank you very much.
Brownie points will get you everywhere, Councillor Mancini. I'll take that as a motion to adjourn.
Thank you very
Moved
much.
by Councillor Mancini. All right, folks, thank you for your time this evening. We are adjourned.
Cheers.
All right.